Thank you, the Liangmai Foundation. Aling hakumapuan kuyo pihaisa. Thank you. Wagaza agu voice audible to my masa feedback with pihai hello. The drive got one time to the thank you way. Ting want to thank you way hakumapuan kuyo lim to masongam camera lang aling deep one pihaisa. I hope my voice is audible. Okay. Kalau dimam kumja kind good topics. It is very general. It is a probably you may not get intellectual input from here, but then activist viewpoint so probably new ideas, new inspiration. So I hope to bring about that, and I hope this talk will bring about that. I may be referring to intelligence, or let's say community intelligence. This is a general community intelligence to some, not questioning or challenging or individual. Okay, my community to the doctorate my the I'm referring to general. Yeah, something is coming on my screen. So, I'm referring to the general community, not challenging individual intelligence. Or so it will be in very general. Okay. So I think I would like to give this as a prelude or introduction. No? I'm not pinpointing individual. It may hurt some people's sentiments, but then like I'm talking in general. So I see So without any further introduction or talk, I would like to continue. I would start this topic. Okay, activism as a like I said, intellectual go talk on the definition, the social theories, skumo piralang prepare to mage. In just simple terms, what I'm referring to is aliu we have to be active. Miring maragja lungraboy. Our life should be active and there should be vigor. As a community, as an individual, we will be strong, and as a community, we will be strong. So, so when we refer to activism, I would say this is it. Okay, so we will be covering on politics, education, development, environment. We'll be covering on these topics. Okay, even religion. Okay, how it affects our even our religious beliefs. Yeah? If we are living inactive, unusual lives, passive even to the extent of affecting our faith and religion. I see the So first, we will emphasize on politics and education. I'm sorry, there is something always popping on my screen, and so it's distracting me a little bit. Try to
host host
you.
Co-host
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. First, let me come to land and people. Aliu gu ktichram hadith maina. Aliu Liangmai Thuja. Liangmai Thuja, without our land, Liangmai ram charam to meaning maza. Liangmai tira lain say meaning wang tang lo lage. Meaning kam lage. Liangmai tisra, you always have to think about the land. Charam Dilsibame. Land is or one of the greatest resource. Just like Liangmai Thuja, Liangmai Kadisram se Prathiwe and Liangmana Thuja, we have to protect and develop our land. I say national duty of every Liangmai citizen. And this is how our forefathers have lived. And if we think we are sovereign and independent, we are sovereign and independent. But India or Burma to control Timisra, that is another case. But if you think with that hope, I think we have to think that we as individuals, as citizens, we have to protect our land. If we think we are just part of India or like we have given up hope, then we cannot control our land. Aguk disa I knew control Thusila. Muraboy, I say first ga Aliu Liangmai Thuja Kadis Ramsa Aliu. It first comes to our mind. Tisra Kadis Ramsa to Aliu new protecting Amrala. Must have developed Timamra potential Aliu Kumrabame. So all the development and whatever it follows after this. Land and people. This land has one of the greatest resource. And people, Samaina has said, it is the greatest national resource. Liangmai Kadiga, Liangmai Ha Misra, Nepali Mai Mukhaumai, Mikimai, Wang Lungfui Misra, that is no use for us. My language, there is use to the annual language. Land is the identity of our people. Tisra Aliu Liangmai Thuja Liangmai gu Kadis Ramsa Aliu new develop Thuraboy, protect Thuraboy. This is Liangmai Charam Sira Bamde. Chamai se develop Thuraboy. This to develop the human resource, they see Peking Bambo. Education. Education, see, it is the only way to develop the human resource. As Christianity came, modern education de wangda. Modern education wang baga. Unfortunately, olden education system liu chiu ki khang chiu ki hai se to to substantiate thuja imasa siga khaisan bo thima nya to replace thumi bo. So if modern education plus all education systems have usera, it will be a big plus point to the we see khoi pa mi khang chiu liu chiu ki se tatami. The modern education, see, if it is up to the mark, my go standard kum tangsara, we rabo. The modern education system, when we talk about modern education system, I'm not talking about, I want to keep aside private education, okay? The government system, community systems, I want to emphasize on that. Government education system, I see, it has gone wrong. Okay, so let me first emphasize on the land politics. Politics to the inside, like I said, is referring to our ability to manage or control our land. So politics. the why Pabambo Manipur got his Kampopi district. Alien consignment Pila Edimam Tadi, Manipur government Pimida. Alien Sri Lanka India government is Swimida. So it is not in our hands. Ali Pope Mendung Ali Lang DP Hives, Ali Liangmai Pampautulo, Dukaba Masana, Consignment Makimania, I need to subjugate your lang Pihamage. This is new. Aliugo self-determination. Timasa independent, sovereign go feeling aliu kabam situ colonial system ga mai go control hanga aliu wang mide. Haitiu maraleng aliu go Naga founding fathers. Hai maine Naga national or Naga political movement has in 1940s 50s ga sumi boy. With the slogan, Ura Uvi, this land is my land, this land is our land. Aliu ni anu kenrang chirawai, aliu to high come low, we come low, aliu to divide to kampaka word. Sisi daulage. We are the masters of our own land. Tibugu spirits, aliu hua, aliu paupe mai ken gasunio to koi tang sisi bame. Didi, my go control hanga to koi wang me. That is another case. Didi. Our founding national fathers, Naga national movement, however, I say, Aliu Ram say, Aliu New, Pampau Tiraway, we will be the masters. We do not want another master. Tibugu Gasin movement say, Tagude. Siga say, Aliu Liangmai Tizidi, we have got into the political movement. Tidi, we are involving. In the not in the best possible way. Kamtanra lang movement, Kamtanra lang no say my kapin mo tangra aliu kampang mage. This it raises it points to our attitude to the national or political movement. Aliu liang mogo attitude to national or political movement. Fuyon say aliu attitude kasi point hara wong tangla bi bame. The Kambilo it is a result of absence of systematic political thinking. Ja, hai kamsara de wangrabo, hai kamasara de parabo. Tibugu se collective theism kumbo hai debo. Ali national movement ga individual theism gukabam se just pekin parang theism government yo kenge. Hai se ali mtiu leng wira leng ja tagwe se keng mage. Da karai ga chidi tibam niwa ne chidi to hoi se ka keng mengra situ mage. Even NNC in Ken Gadi, Kating Medung, I'm new ga Aliu, Liang Mazara, Namga Chenpulami, Puipine Chenpulami, the sea comedy, Maitohatanga, Timony, Kingman Gule. So the same system, the NNC Ken Gabitadi, the same system is happening. This Ra Aliu, who was a incompetent human national movement, Gagubga. Aliugo national movement is incompetent unit. Simendung leadership part formagazi we may in general Aliu was a incompetence I say Bamide and incompetence Bambagazi the why present generation to the Aliu Naga movement to the Masa Aliu the politics of the land Aliu Fuanga gang high agati corruption tivelancing ngau khame ngau tnyam ne ngau musam ne isra the clue dinka phibang ne dinka kom the land is our identity. Land to protect your land ali have a moment su boy didi to koi se ali new systematic thinking have ga so incompetence has a Jamaidi, happy movement theory, incompetence theory, wastage, damage theory. So I see land and people, people, to develop your land, vision to educate your to develop human material, human component, or to develop competence in the education sense. Ali huwa pagaiba material. Ali how we what is our attitude towards education? Kalau community को education system से तो community education system से to replace the community education government education I see this tubo gasibame develop the human competence big question mark sibame government education system say it is something 100 substitution this way. I would like to okay viewers now. Liangmai chija, aliu nagamai chija, aliu kenrang chija, lungne tiba magasi. Aliu nan aliu go kadis ramse to aliu opportunity magasi. Land, land, biggest resource is human resource. Samai is it develop human land to protect human. This in you, Samai to have my is to develop human lands. Education has importance. Be magadi. Ali ne pikama say yo Ali to Madam Luguide. I'm talking from activist perspective. Government sees attention team of Rambasara, high might be rot human, high might be lungsame. Just they will not be able to protect their land. Tibugo, high city hamage, Dinkani. There are Liuhora, the individuals Uza Tuesday days and employee Tuesday, we are happy with our salaries. Okay, we are happy with some education grant. But then it is affecting our identity. Okay, I'll use that to affect you on me. The committee say we are not able to develop the human potential. Education has just to get a white collar job. You must just to earn some salary. Actually, education is to gain knowledge about yourself, about the world around you, the politics, the economics, development. Agu mind to come tan to education come with us. Tan misra agu society si di ring mirabo tan mirabo. Didi aliu go education say it is not awakening our minds. Okay, hachibu go state si bame. For example, let's say Liangmago headquarters Tamai Tislo. Aliu go education. How is our education? Look, Ali Paupe, education in their level of education, minds active. I would also say that education has also emptied our mind. Okay, passive empty. For example, development dinke. Tamaiga 15 to 20 government departments bame. 15 to 20 veterinary, horticulture, sericulture, whatnot. Okay, 15 to 20 government departments are dysfunctional. It is not functioning at all for the past 20-30 years. And education, we have a lot of graduates. But why are we sitting quietly doing nothing? So I want to say that it reflects on the quality of education we had. So when we talk about the quality, it goes back to the government schools, the government education that is given to us. Just class kamrale, just present like the education policies, and that is why we are in a big slumber. Tamaiga development in the department has you makai full function tamai go living standards tamai I'm talking about tamai subdivision. So it has been for 30 years, 20-30 years, and why nobody is talking about it? Okay, road construction the thing roads to we say done the confunga crowdfunding comes the donation comes the come my chinui nam many wrong loja leader wrong loja come see my chinui today in the dinkanibra government go investment road projects the government go investments are crores 200 300 crores 500 crores crore what you kai kimi ani Liangmai kadiga PMJS1 puidaji bamlo every village has got kummo devo jadi aliu village authority timasara CSOs aliu public leaders they give minimal attention to monitoring the public infrastructure development so government crores was you khaiki bamse monitoring kamu ihamisra we will crore was you have prasi pamra video didi crore was you have the village authority or public leaders this government go property government go attitude got you masai attitude si paseng what they completely like you bamse it shows that your mind is not active we are not living active we have to change our mindset. We have to change our perspective. Active passive community all the development funds. Forget not only roads. The development fund it's swiped off by all those contractors. Or even Liangmai. It is swiped off. Okay. And the loser is, the sufferer is the local people. Government go investment in terms of money, we keep suffering. And the onlookers are, we have a lot of BA, MA graduates, but we are just looking at it. That means your education is questionable. Okay? We have to think in that sense. In the strongest terms, I would say all government development projects are raped in broad daylight. Yeah? Onlookers, literal home inmates, simply mute spectators. Why they complain? They come soon ma hakum se ali huwa bamfuye. Lifetime na para. Our network, yeah, network is there. So, the politics and education, Indian political agenda, the human component, human resources developed, they will sovereign thinking, they will reach that. This you keep them, you keep them in bondage. Yeah, developed screw their education, screw their political rights and their political aspiration. That is the only reason why government is a mute spectator to all the corruption. Like for example, Liangmai katiga, Liangmai education trust bame, rakang tikum kha rakang fundraise fundraise para even 10 lakhs to patang lula sarabai. The government ne Liangmai community developed Churaleng fund investigation aliu point half win taking. Government schools 80 something bam sarabai. School kaga 3 teachers tislo. So 80 into 3, 240 teachers. Uza hanga with the lob 35,000 dilo. This is 240 into 35,000, 84 lakhs. So Hyuga, Liangmai community go education and government go investments 84 lakhs. And Tikumga Fuisera 10 crores. Aliu church new they fundraise 10 lakhs compulsory Shishiku with you. government free and literal matha chija Liangmai community education we can 10 crores per year invest you where does it go 100% substitution by me and why are we mute spectators so this is not an active life or it's not active mind Has a clear boy has a clear I think in 10 years there will be drastic change in 20 years probably or even in 10 years ali Liangmai chizidi nagamaranga we will be there are a foremost tribe wrong if we can do that okay so I keep saying we do not want we do not need additional funds we need to manage a system no the common people think it is system but active minds should think that we have to correct the system so government in the past 20-30 years and Liangmai community education line 300-500 crores where are we? We hardly even produce doctors or engineers so coming back to the point and Liangmai children Kadich Ram has a meaning come like a meaning one can lie. Just a Liangmai Kadi land and people. People, human component, human competence, I said, developed your like practice. Kamala is a national, the greatest national resource, human resource. Ali Utsmai to develop your education day. Ali education systems have total mismanaged. And we are all watching in broad daylight doing nothing. We have to wake up. Our education should give us competence, collaboration, collaborative spirit, and community spirit. Ali who has a competence hagati mai to the man mawo kengbo. Mai to collaborate the lungsunship panni mawo. Competent people, they know their capability and they are willing to collaborate. I see Ali makumira lang pagengwa me. So national movement, political movement, they development, they competent humisra. Forget about government jobs. Okay, competent usera, you will be able to monitor. You will be able to channelize the works in the right way, and then government user in terms of funds, if it is utilized well, it will develop our community. I think I'm running too fast, so I'll just go back. Political, when we talk about our Naga national political movement, I have mentioned that it is to protect our land. Aliugo God-given or our forefathers in your Arame in your Pampauchira, Tibu Lungchunza, protect your land, have a movement. Then we need to give cooperation, plus cooperation. If I have to ask Nini Sao Prampadi to food sweeper, Zara, my day, us and Liamra, Kadis Ramhazara, meaning Mentang Lai, but then we don't think about our political movement in that sense. Aligo political movement say Agatimugo gangsters go Ravini Pukobam, this comes and meaning. The political movement say damage to wastage to Kamtiami, say the Kamila Tisra, Ali is systematic political thinking, say Bamaja Dao Minute Pagwimi. I read Kankasi as IS officer Thuraling, Sick King. Mukumla Fantaran Mother Kinglam Fandi Situmi, Divugasi, Aligo, political movement, city, incompetence has a gang along with it. I see, have a good condition and it that Bamisra, forget about our land. Our land under Manipur is Kampopi district, consignment to Nepalim to Pilumi Mata de Lumira. Nepali go voting rights even the contesting rights has the Bami. You see, if we have to protect our land, we have to think about our politics very seriously. Politics, Naga politics is land politics. Naga politics bame Indian politics ga zauma taulaje di zaubame. So Indian politics we are playing with snake. Can you we have to be like snake charmer. Didi Aliugo politicians instead of being a snake charmer, using it only for our advantage. It's not the right place, but using it they are always bitten by the snake and become the food for the snake. I think we need to think in that sense. And it has even affected our faith, our religion. Corruption government employee substitute high. When I say it has affected our faith, church got to dima substitute high deacon chair taulan. And church got the government employees, they have a better say in the church. And the church good thinking, decision making, say it is directed and diverted by that thinking, okay, in their way of thinking. This is a corruption to a full tolerance, but our God is a God who does not tolerate unrighteousness. So that is why we need to live an active life. Active pulpit messages, mostly it is about like to become government officers, prosperity, okay, success. We pray a lot for IAS officers. So our faith, it should be about cleaning our house. Key commission malpractices, kasabo, corruption, katanyam seto, timora swini ma zingye. Timasara fervor for righteousness and integrity, that should be the preaching or the faith of the church. Empty Christianity go Christian se plung ki hollow tube if we are not active. That is why Bible says you should love God with your heart, with your mind. With active mind, we have to love God. So I see the thing social life the potential, the greatest resource for Liangmai. Wastage of skum if your social life, it's like wastage land time came, said there is no competent people, and so your society, it's going to be reflected on your society. It is aliu high competence lam, collaboration lam, to collaborate your line community lam aliu chun higher line kamke jimse dinkani aliu Liangmai gu geography has a literal singyu the divo sum important rivers Biuki, Ahanki, Setki has a Rativo sum aliu Liangmai ka diva. These are God's gift or God's nature to protect you, and being grateful, we have to be environmentally conscious also. So Biuki has a Bangladesh what do you have Biuki to depend you? Aliu catchment area ga lungle simbang hui kam misra. I think tingwang nidian to action di luang sune. Situ katang I mean pali. So we have to be conscious because we are barak catchment area start new. That is why we have to be more environmentally conscious. So nam hi na sa pugu forest reserve ra bamne iti bamngam khawe khoi ali go forest ham hyang khai this and you ani Liangmai choose my opinion or my suggestion or literal proposal tira ini matanga unsa environment lamga nam hi na pugu forest reserve bamke and then um, there should be a corridor so that they will be able to move from place to place. So the picture, how to host kamhalang kilo sili udah. Anyway, this environmentally, I think let me just yeah. Can you see this? So we were round set. That is the village forest reserve. Nam tam tam pakai tam tam tadi. We can connect. We can make corridors.
No, you can share. Excuse me. Now screen says share choose way host by me. When naga haisera blurry to be in was it? It would be interesting to see that.
Can you see that?
Wait. Yeah.
Okay, so these round are the village forest reserves. We can make corridors. So Hatisra. Sorry. So Hatisra, aliyo literal population increase ibam size video kadisram to lungpam tadi we will be able to preserve probably if not all the species, a lot of our species. And zoom cultivation bitadi aliyo reduce chile settle agriculture lampan invest usera divert usera. I think that will also save our environment. Ecotourism has a big industry, and we need to emphasize on sustainable development programs. Like for example, the beekeeping. I keep telling about beekeeping. Madai ming yudi bamisa anago school feeling. So if we can develop in all these villages, we have enough trees, forest, makuira, sisitu. Matha align profit so sustainable development of livestock rearing, poultry, masai sericulture, hakumkum lampan aliu. Just sustainable development like anu emphasize will be. I think we will be able to cut down on dependence on forests like zoom or even timber logging. So I think we have people who literates enough. Education level is such that we understand all this and we are discussing all this. It is just that we are not putting into practice. So coming back to politics. So let point the environment go national politics incompetent every time CEO kasanwang de mariuse timber logging happens. Taine dane it happens. Whereas GPRN timber logging is banned. We have to protect our natural resource. For example, the Zeng Lafan area got the sing the you come home. I come to the pilong Lafan to sing the you come home. I say, why Aliu national movement go incompetence ronamaza public. What are the public doing? So let us come back to our topic. We have to live an active life. Activism in our topic brought up is in just simple terms. We have to be living actively. There should be vigor in our thinking. 자, tisra individual chizede atu kamtanne community chizede atu kamtan raboy. Ya hakasene I sau khamine chiu to thonkiwe.
Question Q&A le li pa khere question you guys withdraw. This week. I don't have floor lang question li pa khere.
Okay, meeting chair Imo Khaisima.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Agu mukum gara aliu talk piomi buga thainu topic has a important kachubo masai related kachubo topic khadechu meaning activism aliu speaker ne ding mi kumza active life active mind chubuto chuza the nature chuza dimire aliu thoi speaker ne ding mi kumza aliu complain camping bo complain raise chuping bo chuzenga so aliu grow as a chum habambo chusi dinu kamine thank you Ajib saying it a lot of thanks pibam madano to hoy India ka fuisa meda patkar masara we kailas we Nobel Peace Prize we child activist hai madung kangu life fuisara society has a revolutionized chumi bo reform in huge large scale ga so chumi bo tibse bame yo aligo context ga aligo lunga din pui phalam bisma environmental issue lam bisma has a king kangra bamboy speaker to basic question ni hok nimna once again naglon activism active mind chu active life chu do you think I mean tibam di literal meaning of activism example my khang tumna theology tani who is a theologian dikumja who is an activist haibalam ga dunizan the definition se aliu ko ga pc ga kilo plamra haibugu concept se si muisra aliu ka ki ga sudis mai ki kengbo akamugo profession ga jong ra lengdi chupum personality di message agu perspective ni bangu perspective ni abga sai is a difficult question but they choose activist life aliu go damu context ga they choose activist go life se I cultivate chungam lo to hoy kamugo lenunga to hoy aliu damu context ga nego opinion point na hello hablamga thank you
Okay then. Activist, I say definition. I think Google of Israel. I think someone who revolutionizes politics or development, education. So I think it is the same thing. It someone who tries to bring rapid changes or vigor in the political scenario or whatever. Okay, so be it environment, social change. If you are an agent of that, I think you become an activist, and that is activism. So I hope this satisfies. And like I said, I have not emphasized on all these theories and definitions. So I think we have source on the net also, further study theory. And the second question is the life of an activist. Okay, in the true sense, It's just that I have an active concern for community. So I would say that activists my ramalam activist so probably I'll not be able to explain how is the life of an activist. Jadi agu perspective you have a big concern for your community and to develop your community, whether it is in environment, politics, or your land, or whatever. And I think one inherent nature of an activist would be to give to the community like people, community se wisra. So that is what I try to inculcate in my students. Idi school ga singam kamam se nam dung to competence develop through krame if they are into science or if they are into math or English, competence they have to know the concepts. This competence bamisra they will collaborate. Team up spirit, and then it should be reflected in the community like. So I think the inherent quality of an activist also is they want to collaborate, they want to contribute for the community. So I hope this kind of I do not know whether it satisfies you or not, but
Okay, usai ini khat new kai ne chu ma khon nok.
Yes, chiwe.
Okay, rai buga ira I consider you as an activist. Community kasa. You are someone like who raised your voice regarding environment or development buga. To Iran to activists, community activists had to into consider to and my best wishes for your future endeavors. To had to nang kambo semasa nang na to hai to raise to the kambo body kaka I tau hai to inam new kai ni buat aliu jiga di masa aliu mai ruanga aliu community ka hakumbo activism go ngam kampung boga di masa hakumbo say example the environment forest ga sing logging go issue kumboga nang hai se wima mzima ga kumbogo campaign kambutinga de bo detubo issue se masa de se hurdles difu bro ali community ga activism go ngam kambutinga ali mai dong hai understanding level masa have more acceptance masa desina umfu lo people say din khai lo tuluza for future tira mahali go younger generation, younger people, or even they might be tadi activists ko ngam hai se tusara aliu ruanga mo ngam hai we king bi jamai na to be involved to king bi suira go Zaiga kamsa wiralo se langwa nang experience kadi tu zai kamsa wiralo tu se point na dikha.
Okay, thank you. I think both of your questions are very relevant, and it is also bringing it is searching things out. So thank you so much. And yes, activism kam kyuga like let's say education like any matanmaga masa environment like matanmaga hurdles was you me. For example, the education this law tamaiga government school was you substitute khatare. In fact, LNC we moved the house LNC to the substitute has to be given 25%. Dimizra quality substitute teachers the high level so there 25% of the pay. Okay, Didi use implement chitang la de. Tisra tamai ga tujo government school ga substitute kaita zing. Why? Because tamai is a town. Ja interior village wangtang la khaima ge debo. This is neo kaitara length ga we have their position. Ja opposition ja namgu leaders public I'm doing the substitute kaini bo. I mean, they are also parroting what people have been parroting. Yeah, I see. The Kamgulo, it reflects on education. The biggest hurdle is us. Okay, Dimam Kumja, many the funds are was you Haikimina. Tiu Kama Zani, Tusi Kama problem. Tuni Mavgurama, Tuni Bama, Tuni Tusimawa. We have to educate our people. So the biggest hurdle is knowledge the understanding how perception drama insight drama. So we should be able to educate our people to understand these things. And awareness comes that is another issue. The quality of our education. Most of our education is just getting degrees. If we are not able to grab our rights, it shows that we are poorly educated. So this is one of the biggest hurdles: the public awareness, the abysmal quality of our education. So that is the biggest hurdle. Environment will be the same. Okay. Why are it's not that I'm brave person
Question,
and hello, yeah, it's not that I'm brave person. I raise my voice. Yeah, like I feel that I'm somehow initiated. My education does not allow me to sit quiet. That's what I would like to see.
Just boss a question yang mame nang full rama papa lah.
Oh, Papa, hello.
Oh, I to na my new say Liangmai activist Bama how to strive or survive as an in an environment. An environment where gun culture is prevalent. There are new activism.
Okay. Thank you for the good question. Thank you.
Oh, no,
Activist Bama, how does it survive? I think our previous questioners have asked this. Okay. I think the main question here is how does activists survive in gun culture? Okay. So gun culture, I don't think there's nothing like gun culture. I mean, why? Because if you negotiate at Hebron or with the higher authorities, political movement vision and that is reflected. This is inherently Naga political movement is a right movement, is in the right track. This is new at the top. They don't they don't support all this. This is new. I would say there is nothing like gun is it impedes or this is the biggest hurdle that and so I hope this satisfies. That is my view. And the second question is, can LNC or Liangmai Forum वो screen पता है ना? Excuse me, वो screen पता है ना? Can LNC or Liangmai Forum make a way for activism to come forth? I think activism should not Liangmai Forum or LNC cannot make activism to comfort. You educate the people, you make their mind active, and it will just come up. So, city dinkhani.
Question my new hello dia. Tisra nang huklone answer maleng alio locals meaning kitani swimaitis ali locals meaning stakeholder rambas masika any beneficiaries rameste timas ali go kingship network tanju bidema stakeholder ami kezu bidema skum problems rangkum bama
And prelude guy deme kumja. Ye tala tanbi edwa ne general community with intelligence haja. I'm not questioning or pointing at the individual. There are a lot of bright. The general the community with intelligence is low, so that is the main problem. I see it that way. Not because of all these minute factors. The general go community intelligence because our quality of education is so poor. And most of them, even to the name just BA, MA, like degree, like so they don't learn anything, and it does not give them the inspiration. I'm not saying that I'm not denying that there are no other factors. There may be some gun threat, this and that, politics, but that is not the important. That is not the big hurdle. So the biggest hurdle is to do with our community insight.
Okay. Ige kat comment masa suggestion kat pikane new kane nang thank you des la di den di muisui din kha atun wi de tun inu din khani run go experience nang na ga sunu mai di la mere kiti talu thoi aliu liang society ga wong ma me tiu ga se nu khu ga nang ne thoi liang go aliu go society ga social activists kam ga they go challenging chubon hugan they problem chubon go face you lo mata kum se they you say precaution masan they wanglan ra nam do nang de kiti khadian ni lo.
So thank you for your question, Dr. Vidini. I think this is what I've been repeating. Yeah, the biggest hurdle activism the biggest hurdle is to literal educated minds has a community to the community with intelligence has a we have to raise. So this new scholars my dong masai community ga kasi mai. This is my earnest appeal. Yeah. Aliu community go intelligence I said we have to we don't have time left. Yeah. We are running out of time. We have to invest in pamphlets bima radio audio de vitade community coming thing like we have to social issues development issues de vitade pamphlets ma audio bima YouTube ma you have to invest time in that and make our community as a community intelligent. This is I think we'll be able to grab all our rights. So okay, so khadina I na tinga so kenglam tani de titimam ne yo zie 1988 ga sene I kenglam fan lung tami de so kenglam fan lung ja khawm jiu ga lung ja nagamai liangmai wang de aliu di ga wang lung lan ga absent bani we is a different liangmai that in you meaning so probably I was a Liangmai in 1988 until the King of Fan Lung Lung. That same Liangmai probably came back after so many years. So, each user atu aku own testimony drama I didn't think of being an activist or social issues got deal today. I felt God's calling for ministry. It is a doctorate, the molecular sciences ga pursue through language. Say seasonal go field through language. I felt a calling that I have to be in Christian ministry. It was hard. I gave up, and still a skill I'm from one. And so when I gave up, for example, who will pay me? Two questions. So that was in Bangalore, and I just look out at my window and I saw a tea seller. So if tea seller can survive, if I don't have any money, I will also sell tea. I made up my mind to go for ministry, and see ministry. That is how I've given. This Tuesday I to give up all my like the good things, and then halang activities. From Bapa Kamra I don't think I have just given like that. When I've given my life to God for His ministry, Aliu Tamaiga Wang Aliu Liangmai Aliu to suppress Tibo drama. Hakuma injustice ma ukaibuga hai sira aligu rights ra grab chi masa dola mainya tu tintnui bam se kamaha man dola chi wulung king si dipa gwe ti si dingkhani.
What's the menu hackering no yeah? What's the menu rami plubin reaction ni plubin ketio hang ni sui watch out ka dikhai sui tadi.
Hello, can I say something?
Yeah, this is sir.
Hi. Enoch, thank you for the wonderful talk. It's actually inspiring to know that you got inspired by seeing a tea seller. The Prime Minister of India is also a tea seller. Just a few things, because you see, I know your commitment and the kind of burning passions that you have. Still been nang the education bamsi keng kai na matiu laying the see the way the ding kai ni belale that just a small comment. Have you ever heard about this thing called the night talim pedagogy?
No.
Yeah. So why I'm telling this is because the questions that were put to you again and again, like what is the hurdle, like how do you do activism and all. The Nai Talim approach to educating, because Nai Talim is nothing but a new approach to education. I mean, like through work also. So you are also talking so much about, like you have your BA degrees, MA degrees, and yet, like you just learn it for your degree. It doesn't, have any consequences for your, like life world or for your living in day to day. Practice of parambaha, because you're in school. That's why I'm telling you this. The first thing for activism or anyone for that matter is first to know. Knowing something actually is about your worldview. You see, if you're a teacher, you end up teaching the same old way you have been taught because you were conditioned by that worldview, the way you know what teaching is. So the Nai Talim, for example, taught that, advocates that Nai means new, Talim means new education, not Nai Talim. No. So like education through war, for example, you're doing a lot of crap work. So the first thing our Liangmai people, what we need to do is, I think we need to be very thorough with what we have to know. We have to define what. Defining what or knowing what. It's a very, very, it's a very important thing. Once you know, on the basis of what you know, you have to act, participate. To know, to participate, and then only when you participate, you will redefine whatever. Education, you have to know something, you participate, and then on the basis of that, you redefine education also. In a sense, we call it praxis. Clarity has a aliu de ke sia no ai no khon ke nge problem chang WhatsApp ga Facebook ga de kam chu nang ra meng zama PAG lo ra ka me mo tamai me pil kulum ho ra men ku lo ra pi kulum ho sa su ki ma de din de ba me de no. And the first thing actually in activism, I believe, this is just a comment, is that we have to know. The next thing is, once you know something, you participate. And in your participation, you will redefine things, because you might have assumed that the moment you participate, then you will be able to redefine, the what will get redefined again. It's a cycle. So the principle. Now, the first is that they need to know. The second is they need to participate. And in participating, I think they will start, like redefining their own existence, their own education, the way they look at the world, the way they look at the world. See, most of us think that IAS is everything, but then, like if you become an entrepreneur, by acting on what you know, maybe your views about, okay, fine, it doesn't have to be only IES is the only thing. I can do something else like that. No, that also is a part of activism. That is what I just want to say. The first thing is we need to know. The second is participation. And through that participation, can we redefine our existence? Can we redefine what we know also? Still, too low level of consciousness. So the problem starts actually with what we know actually. So how do we change this? You need to participate. Then when you participate, you will be able to redefine what you have thought as you know. So it's a cyclical process. So the Naitalim concept of, like Mahatma Gandhi, for example, in education, because you're a school teacher, I mean, you run a school also. So I thought, and it's good for all of us also, like why we are so active in Facebook, why we're so active in WhatsApp, for example, there's something called, you really need to know. You need to know how to define things, and then you need to participate. And then after that, the redefining process will come. So it's a cyclical process, and I just want to tell that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for adding your valuable feedback. Yes, to know, that is educated minds, to know. I think that is just because people do not know and they are not able to act, I think that is the biggest hurdle. So I think you have added to what I'm thinking. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Question kat di wong ba chat boss ka. Nang chat boss ka ko pa aligo speaker pi chat boss ka question fui pa going up. Question menu hak ni menu this way. Chat 2-in-1. Kamu dah le.
Real activism is pricey. What is the biggest hurdle to it? What is the remedy? So I think I've been repeating for last 2-3 questions have been that what is the biggest hurdle? So
similar question.
Yeah, people are not aware of like Dr. Tasang we needed to know. Aware we are not able to act. So the biggest hurdle is our inability to understand. So to make people, community to understand, see, if we have to just go and protest, it is easy. But then to make the whole community to understand, it's like going to ground work again. So that is the biggest hurdle, I would say.
Menu khai ra mi ti menu khai le dia question. One up pam khai. Question menu khai ni mi pagu unmute kana ti menu khai le pon na pam khai.
My new car, point dinkalane example the aliugo community go awareness tirama our ability to handle all these things. Yeah, tiny man kumfung puitliwa medio crowdfunding kamnaja. You guys incident kat ga kankai go comments hatiwe dewa. Actually, it turned out that where crowdfunding comes, donation comes, namani initiative masara we contractor pisem thap ki gatole 30 lakhs itimuna bajo. This I come house to newspaper ka he has come out of his rat hole. And immediately konfunam pakil to negotiate today. 30 lakhs project it is actually how much we do not know, but that pamun lalle 30 lakhs. This is halam fund deduction 22 lakhs in hand away. 22 lakhs in hand over negotiate like 7 lakhs they are satisfied. Negotiate satisfied. These are our bargaining powers. 22 lakhs. But then go one it is 7 lakhs. They are satisfied with 7 lakhs. Still see meaning haladi malum siri wakhat. Yuga comment kankane piuse annual yamdo contractor dong to melum masaja sila dipatingo akumbo mai to di melum satan hatiuga senyo aliu disu silabamwe tibo kumo itero aliu go community go intelligence akumbo standard ga se kenye diniye. So in the course of my itero kalam deal je hakumo go thinking se kengo when you learning thing je kana kamande jadi because contractor them lum sa ma say 7 lakhs da we de di mane khoinga le kamam se agu pang ta this kumogu mindset se kenye this and that is why I keep saying the biggest hurdle is my the coming thing that is what we need to emphasize. So I just wanted to point out this also. Yeah.
Juris abon mani menu ba me nakam de na hagu topic kadalo sa hagu topic nakam de din khai da tiu. Juris ko question na pa din speaker pe introduction at din nong bete pa de kam bi de hai ko pageng pa we ko topic choose kam na ti bra. Speaker pe ko network ha mo ma.
Okay. Ira group right kahoga zo khai ma with the introduction gets you khai ma with the high school interest kat pamira with the link new has if he has already spoken in his introductory speech then it's okay. Thank you.
Speaker video
you can ask again.
Yeah. Chen na kam de na hai ko choose hai ko topic choose kam no din khai la ti ko question ne ti din khai la mi same ka.
So I have a topic like it's my life. I'm fully involved in that. Like, so I see. 10 crores education line the government ne Liangmai community quality education ki line khaikibam se annually 10 crores. I'm just talking about the salary, the key infrastructure lampan tumada. The matha the long mahabam cha the one village agu school nam lampan student my one me. Their quality is like I cannot imagine. The example class 3 Namgu school gani wang de hatangla then they go to some other government schools and then they give up, they drop. Because and also education sector ga school ga singam what I realize is class 1 to 3 or let's say 4 5 the khangma the practice 1 to 3 you have to give quality education. It depends on how you are taught in class 1 to 3. This is nam la panyu to the chiro kami matom to classroom ga cha kam kama kum the wang ga say they give up very soon. This is education I say soy because aliu community why no soy the politics lam development lam spiritual lam why no soy mine we have to educate our people and government there are 10 crores minimum 10 crores per annum Liangmai community educate it is just going down the drain and that is why I have to talk about it. So that is one reason why I choose the topic. And even in environment lam phandi fui the sing bang the kom kai wo kasiara sangna di bam ya matha ku the zone maha bam ja example the hang 2016 17 18 lam fan the sing gam ne each is a pakule ja hakile ja come to law bargain negotiation lo imbang tadi lan mi lo iti bo idibo and suima the sing bang kai with liang idibo and then after 2 years we zone mo sa ki dumwe nang disu daw ibutum new de is talking about 2-3 lakhs debra ani wo se zone ma sa we kapang mo ma intelligence kaha good level am sa ani lungi mo yeti ani go resource the waste me so he got only 2-3 lakhs and the sing bang the sing bang kaira papa le do and we contractors the pa me zeng lam phan pa wang la the tha ko sing je the mren maha kamni so ani go level has a it is like it's very sad and that is why all thinkers all intellectuals we have to think about zero level and we have to focus we have to think of that and that is why I brought up this topic yeah
Tim new hello dia masa close kam sune Tim masa kat new hello nang si education ga focus ti tang theory prominent kat dim factor kat dim amedi education ga tironi ali hulang wiziara mi chingam kam ma te ali liang mira mi chingam kam ba mira mi chingam wangang kam ra mi hinang si pelu Christian mi sa ali khethu committee wo khethu wanga spiritualization of work tira ma khethu angam la khethu committee ti sikaga teachers mi si pelu ngam kan sama sa pelu ni this pelu ngam ha si spiritualization of work si did you have connection si link se
no thank you so much for the question ali literal active chima the lungmam se passive or no thinking it doesn't affect our life yeah the lungmam se it has affected our faith also our spiritual life the dinni tiu senyo changam kama vitadi hello
yeah see you me
Churan mina
yeah so it has affected our faith also yeah and so active chima our minds are not active too because it has even gone to the extent of affecting our faith yeah so changam kama tadi substitute khailuam tadi so it doesn't affect your conscience and you can even be the deacon or even the pastor of a church you go level as a aliu bame did I answer your question or
itu question frame kan si magai tiu pampang aku thought kai across the liang pa kai wei
so am I answering you
yo
or
guilty consciousness ko ram ne tia
yo guilty di thitami guilty thitami si the kamil church also is partly to be blamed okay ira LNBA got good marks we ira tibamne ira LNBA got guzra I will excommunicate employees who put substitute also
nice Tio aligo wong kai me participants rami question new hak ni mi bang kha set last le mi new hak lati close kana kam ke.
Matthew Lang, because this is also something very close to my heart, Enoch. Maidam new high manager na nang activist cut what is the number one character you have to have in you? What is the number one character that you need to have?
You're asking me or you're
yes, I'm asking you. I mean, like, now activist what is the number one quality that you need to have so that you can be a successful activist? Because challenges are too many, and you need to have one, can you tell at least one unique or, a specific special character that an activist must possess so that he or she can, make the effective changes?
One is, I would say, to know the issue. That is very important. And then you should have a community feeling. You should want to give. So I would say that. To know the issues well, that is very important. And then also to give yourself to the community, for the community. I think that is very important.
Thank you.
Thank you. Di wong khai mam thi di thank you speaker pil dik din mui lo ong ding khai thank you king ji jiwa mai ta di pon tang sa loi da kam ke te alikam i khang khai co-host kai lad bani thanks board of thanks bi khai point bi khai.
Thank you.
Acha. Thank you. Rai buga aliu singa Enoch to dise tone. Giờ nàng aliu paging bambo din khai mi bo se paging bam chang bambo para chubo community ga hai bo issue tumasara hai mo education tumasa wa isi khai bo se paging bam chang bam me. Giờ aliu community ga to hai Enoch liu kumai na sangam kamam to ngausara ailung di bo khat me tibra well educated secular lamdi theological lamdi theology lamdi tisa educate chimaina intellectual khanna tisa aliu bo community ga wang ja aliu community ga uplift chura lai tu sangam kamam se ko khai boga alung di bo tumasa ai to pi chu khai bo me tisa thai lai one rai pa khai ja aliu Liangmai Foundation platform ga top pi khai lo su ga wang chun gui ja wang din khai jing sun tu di se thone tisa di top la ne tisa nya bu ga aliu dong wang ja ba mai aliu participant dong di se thone niu na di hai bo top ga padam lo khai ja chiu na bu one rai pa khai ja wang ja hai bo hai kumbo wang zau kambo hai se di community feeling tumasara aliu zat me to kha khani bo tumasa de tiro lo to bo lung thiu me dong na wang za wang te ngau di ma pa de tung ni di chat pane di tau la ne to sumbo ga aliu dong hai bo de top ga aliu comment pi khai mai question menu khai mai chat box se ta di tumasara verbal bi ta di tisa question menu khai ja interaction hai se tisa fruitful with you khai bo paging bam bo lam ga tisa discuss chu sam khai bo tisa hai se uim dong di se thone tu ding tau la ne tisa madai ba sai ali dong bo hai bo to hai ali bo zoom ali dong Liangmai Foundation bo top ta moi bo hi na hai se aliu zoom account hai se LCFD Liangmai Christian Fellowship Delhi bo zoom account se pam boy is a LCFD to the 20 way to se ding tau khala ne aliu from future ga di is a begin bam then da aliu Liangmai Foundation bo account separate bam ma then da is a hai se is a thin bam ra mi de is ding tau khala boy LCFD to the is a thone na wa di wa kum u kha kha bo ha za I said, "You na community language is a visa hay cũng có ông hay share to the because so this is one way this is one khai mai chiu ko pi si khala ni bo khana ali dong second Saturday and I fourth Saturday hay se pila ali ko hay se takunan bam so ne this updates topic speaker se ra ali dong social media ga this ngau lan so ne hay se chiu na future so nai na nai takunan ko ko ka bi wang zau khalan lo this tin tao khalan boy chiu ga di so ne
Thank you.
Thank you da Enoch, cảm ơn hết mà chuẩn bị đây.
Thank you. Em chiếu ông khai ra Liangmai Foundation, anh phụ huynh khai ra thank you.
Thank you da Enoch.
Thank you.
Ai cái số đôi khai ở close khai mi khai liu khai này có cái sẽ chiu cái vấn đề
Cúp na lên.
That's Nelly's feeling. Achi nang siya the school master ti ba book khai pala. Interesting ti wa.
Na lên lang khai là chứ.
Lang khai ne, rang sil ka lang the school master.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye. Ni mang ilo.
Hello.
Thank you de Wang khai man chiu to như mang lo.
Thank you.
Mong lo, chiu mong lo.
Next topic Wang lo.